Why do you seek the living among the dead? He is not here, but has risen. Whereas we have this night from the Gospel of Luke chapter 24, 1 to 12. Dear friends, briefly, let us look at the characters that witnessed the resurrection of Jesus Christ. The first group was the women, led by Mary Magdalene. They went to the tomb of Jesus Christ early on Sunday morning. They couldn't do it on a Saturday following the burial on Friday because that would be breaking the Sabbath law. So they went to his tomb on Sunday morning. However, they didn't go to witness the resurrection. No. They went to anoint the body of Jesus according to their custom. That will explain the disappointment they expressed when they couldn't find the body. It was the angel that informed them of the resurrection. And then they remembered, because the angel had to remind them of the promise Jesus made regarding his own resurrection. So when the angel mentioned that to them, then they remembered and then believed. The second group was the disciples led by Peter. They went to the tomb after the women told them what they have seen and what they were told by the angel. But they didn't believe the testimony of the women. They disregarded the story, called it a tale, a myth. So, looking at these two groups of people, who were the first witnesses of the resurrection of Jesus Christ, they didn't believe it at the first instance. Why? Maybe because for them it was an impossible reality. Not that they do not believe in the resurrection of the dead, because they have seen Jesus, how he raised Lazarus from the dead. So they believe that God can actually bring back someone from death to back to life. But the idea of self-resurrection, that this man resurrected by himself, it has never crossed their mind, and it's never happened in the history of human salvation. So for them, it was against logic and it was against human intelligence. They also didn't believe it because, number two, they forgot the prediction, the promise Jesus made regarding his own resurrection, that they will kill me, they will bury me, but after 3 days, I am going to rise. They didn't remember that prediction. They didn't remember that promise. Why? Partly because they were going through a lot at that time as disciples of Jesus. Their hope, Jesus Christ, has been defeated by the Jewish authorities. Their own future was quite uncertain. Their career, which they left, abandoned to follow Jesus, can they go back to that? They felt used and abandoned by their master. Also, they were dealing with the guilt of how they played their part during his passion. Those who denied him, those who ran away. So when these guys were dealing with this, the last thing that will be in their mind will be to remember the promise. Because sometimes when we become fixated on things we are passing through, we don't usually remember the promises of God. We don't usually remember what God has assured us of. Sometimes you ask someone who has been going through something, have you tried going to chapel to pray? Oh, I didn't even remember. It has not crossed my mind. Because when we are under, or when we are going through overwhelming situation, sometimes we don't even remember the assurances of God. Most of them they are quite plenty in the Bible. Remember, for example, he said, remember, I am always with you. Remember, I will never forsake you. I will always protect you. I will love you with an everlasting life, everlasting love. I will heal every one of your disease. I will always be there for you. I will send my angel to accompany you. All these are promises God made to us. But how often do we remember them? Especially when we are going through challenges. So, dear friends, the resurrection of Jesus Christ, what does it therefore mean? It doesn't actually mean that it was an event that happened that we're then commemorating it. To believe in the resurrection of Jesus Christ as an event that happened is not enough. To believe in the resurrection of Jesus Christ means, therefore, to believe in the power that made that resurrection a reality. To believe that that power was not a one-time off thing. No. To believe in the resurrection of Jesus means to believe that that power that rose him, with which he rose from the dead, that power is evidently at work because he made that promise. So we have come together, not like the first apostle who found it hard to believe in the resurrection. We have come because we believe that the resurrection of Jesus Christ was not just a reality. It is something that's still happening because that power is still at work in the lives of those who believe. Therefore, the power with which Jesus rose from the dead, that power can still not just raise us up from our death, not just from our grave, but that power also is capable of raising us up from whatever is holding us down. Because resurrection means to revive, to revitalize. That power can make new again whatever has become old in my life. That power can also make me to rise above my challenges. That power could also make me to rise from my slumber and my negativity and my pessimism to positivity and hopefulness. And that is the power we are celebrating today. And that is my message. That the power with which Jesus Christ rose from the dead, which we are celebrating tonight as our Easter, that power is still at work in the lives of those who believe. If you believe it, it will work in your life. And that is simple. What I say, it's not logic, but it's simple faith. God made promises. The apostles couldn't remember them. Do we remember the promises he made? One of them is, just as we read in the second reading, the first reading of today from the New Testament, that if we died with Christ, then we are going to rise. Rise from what? Not just from eternal death, not just from grave, but also from whatever that is holding us down in the journey of life. Now, to you, the candidates for confirmation and baptism. Just a word. When the resurrection happened, the first person that broke the news gave it as an assignment. And the person who received it, the second person that received it, sent it across to the next person. And that was how the resurrection story spread out. So what you are doing today is, you have come here as believers today. And what the women witnessed, they went about telling others, especially you who are being received into the church. The story of our encounter with Christ is not something we keep to ourselves. The story of our relationship with God is not something we keep personal. No, we share it. Because the women, when they got the idea of resurrection, they didn't keep it to themselves. They went to the apostles. Wow, we went to the grave, we saw and we believe. And the apostles came and saw, and they went about talking about it. And that is how we know about the resurrection. So you have got a job, even as we welcome you into our fold, that you keep talking about Christ. I think Christ is the only person who has given us unlimited permission to gossip with his name and to gossip with his secrets, to talk about it. So all of us who are Christians, we are more or less gossipers because we gossip about Jesus Christ. That is the only one who has given us permission. Use my name, talk about me everywhere. Anything you want to say about me, please, I have revealed everything to you. So, can I say that today, may you become holy gossipers of Christ. Talk about Jesus Christ. Talk about him everywhere, because the encounter you are having or you have had and now you are expressing in this ritual is not something you keep to yourself. Talk about it. Tell people about your experience of Christ. Tell people what you know. Talk to people about how you encountered him, your knowledge of him. Don't keep it to yourself. So we welcome you to our fold, and those who have been confirmed, we congratulate you. Here at St. Anthony, we don't like the members of our parish to act like guests. We want them to become active members of the family. So wherever you can fit in, please, by this baptism, you become full members of the family of God, having all rights and privileges and also all responsibilities. So, we are not looking for people to fill our pews, although we are, please, we are. But we are looking for active people who will fill our pews. So become active in the church, find a way to participate, find a way to become someone known in the community. Mary, Ali, Sonia, Dada, and Tommy, I don't want any of you to become an anonymous Catholic. I want you to become active, well known in the community, and you see how much love we can give you. Congratulations.